There is a secret police force terrorizing our neighbors all over the state, all over this country. ICE shot a mother in the face. ICE kidnapped a 5-year-old boy. ICE executed a man in broad daylight.
Tonight, we're in San Antonio, Texas, where a rising Democratic Senate candidate kicks off a rally that blends faith, populism, and sharp criticism of corporate power and federal immigration enforcement at stake. Not just a Senate seat, but competing visions of patriotism, free speech, and the role of government. As the campaign trail intensifies, the rhetoric is getting bolder, and the implications reach far beyond Texas.
San Antonio, it is so good to be here. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, San Antonio. This city means so much to me. Before I was a candidate for the U.S. Senate, I was a public school teacher right here in San Antonio, Texas. This city taught me how to be a leader. This city taught me the meaning of service, and for that, I will be forever grateful. Last night, we were on the Riverwalk. We were just at Market Square. It feels so good to be back here in San Antonio. Thank you, Senator, for your kind words, for your friendship to me, for your service to this community. Thank you to the volunteers in the vests who made this event possible. And thank you to all of you for showing up here on short notice. We are building a movement to take back our state and take back our country. We're on our Take Back Texas tour. We're in the campaign bus. We're hitting the road. We're going everywhere. We're talking to everyone because that is how we build a big enough tent to flip this seat in November. And I can't tell you how good it is to be back here after a crazy week on the campaign trail. Last week, I filmed an interview with Stephen Colbert on The Late Show. And as you probably know, the Trump administration pressured corporate media executives at CBS to keep that interview off the air. But I think it's safe to say their plan backfired. And
the candidate is making a serious allegation here that a presidential administration pressured a major broadcast network to suppress an interview. Claims of political interference in media are significant and would require clear evidence to substantiate. Historically, tensions between administrations and news organizations are not new, but direct suppression would raise profound First Amendment concerns. It's also notable how the speech reframes cancel culture, arguing that power, not the public, is driving censorship. So here's the question. Is this a documented case of political pressure or campaign rhetoric designed to energize supporters wary of media consolidation and partisan influence?
These are the same people who ran against cancel culture. Now they're trying to control what we watch, what we say, what we read, and this is the most dangerous kind of cancel culture, the kind that comes from the very top. They went after The View after I appeared on that program. They went after Jimmy Kimmel for telling a joke they didn't like. They went after Stephen Colbert for telling the truth about Paramount's bribe to Donald Trump. Corporate media executives in this country are selling out the freedom of speech to curry favor with corrupt politicians. This is a threat to all of our freedoms. A threat to any of our First Amendment rights is a threat to all of our First Amendment rights. Whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whether you're a progressive or a conservative, the real fight in this country is not left versus right, it's top versus bottom. We launched this campaign for the U.S. Senate 5 months ago, and since then, we have had thousands of Texans showing up to rally with us in every corner of the state, from Beaumont to El Paso, from Amarillo to Brownsville, and everywhere in between. And I can't tell you how many people come up to me at the end of these events and whisper, "I'm not a Democrat." Like they're in the witness protection program. We have recruited more than 28,000 volunteers who are doing the organizing work all over this state. And we have shattered grassroots fundraising records, all without taking a dime from corporate PACs. This is a people-powered movement to take on this broken, corrupt political system. This is truly a campaign of, by, and for the people. We are not just trying to win an election. We are trying to fundamentally change the politics in this state and in this country. Our nation is so divided that we can't even share the Super Bowl anymore. 2 different halftime shows for 2 different Americas living in 2 different realities. Bad Bunny, one of my favorite artists, gave one of the best Super Bowl halftime performances of all time. And then I saw that Kid Rock, someone I grew up listening to, held a counter concert. I didn't even know that was a thing. What leads someone to protest that beautiful halftime show? I think it's fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of change. Fears we all struggle with. But there was nothing to be afraid of in that halftime performance. Just joy and unity and love. Because in the words of Scripture, love casts out fear. Or, in the words of Bad Bunny, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. That word love, is maybe the most important word in the English language. It's certainly the most important word in all of our lives. And yet, we rarely hear it spoken in our politics. My granddad was a Baptist preacher in South Texas. And when I was real little, he told me that we're supposed to follow the 2 commandments that Jesus gave us. Love God and love neighbor. Jesus could have told us to love our immediate family members. He could have told us to love our close friends. But he told us to love our neighbors. That's inherently a public thing. And it's what led me to public service. First as a public school teacher, and now as a public official. I launched my very first campaign for the State House 8 years ago, back home in Williamson County, in a county that was so red, it hadn't voted for a Democrat for president since Jimmy Carter. I was told the race was a lost cause. I was told flipping a Trump district was impossible. I was told I was too young. I was told I didn't have the money or the political connections to win. But my neighbors and I, we ran an aggressive, authentic, unorthodox campaign that brought people together. And on election night, we flipped that district with 51% of the vote. And now Now I'm in my fourth term in the State House. As a Democrat in a Republican-dominated body, I've been able to pass major legislation to bring down the cost of housing, bring down the cost of childcare, bring down the cost of prescription drugs, including insulin. I am trying to love my neighbor through public policy. I am trying to make my neighbor's life a little easier and a little better. That kind of love in our politics is getting harder and harder to find. Do you know why our politics sucks right now? It's not any one politician. It is the system itself. Think about who was sitting behind the President of the United States on Inauguration Day. Think about who runs the 24-hour corporate media that treats news as entertainment. Think about who owns the social media algorithms that keep us angry and divided. A handful of billionaires have redesigned our politics for their own profit. Us versus them, trolling, owning, name-calling, winning at all costs. It's professional wrestling. We all keep watching, we all keep scrolling, we all keep fighting, and they keep getting richer. They divide us on an hourly basis by party, by race, by gender, by religion. So we don't notice that they are picking our pockets, that they are closing our public schools, that they are gutting our healthcare, that they're raising taxes on all of us while they cut taxes for themselves. It is the oldest strategy in the world: divide and conquer. They have literally changed how we talk to each other. They have changed how we learn about the world. It's the reason you and your MAGA uncle, who you used to get along with just fine, now live in completely different realities. Politics shouldn't feel this way. Politics is just another word for how we treat our neighbors. And we should treat each other a lot better than this. We can transform this broken political system. They may have the money, but we have the majority. It's going to require that we bring people together across these manufactured divisions. Fight that system, not your neighbor. That is how we're going to win this race in November. There is something broken in America. Our political system is broken. Our economic system is broken. Even our relationships with each other feel broken. And that's because the most powerful people in the world want it that way. My faith teaches me to love my neighbor as myself. Not just my neighbor who looks like me. Not just my neighbor who prays like me. Not just my neighbor who votes like me. I am called to love all of my neighbors the way I love myself. Because despite our many differences, despite our many disagreements, we all really want the same things: a safe neighborhood, a good job with good benefits, a high-quality, well-funded public school, and the ability to see a doctor when we need one. I don't know about y'all, but I am tired of being pitted against my neighbor. I am tired of being told to hate my neighbor. It's been more than 10 years of this kind of politics. Politics as blood sport. Politics as total war. It tears families apart. It ends friendships. It leaves us all, no matter what side you're on, feeling terrible all the time. As I travel this state, I get the sense that across the political spectrum, there is a deep hunger for a different kind of politics. Not a politics of fear, not a politics of hate, not a politics of division, but a politics of love. A love for this state, a love for this country, and most importantly, a love for all of our neighbors. A love that can heal what's broken in America. I was in Laredo, Texas a couple weeks ago. That's my mom's hometown. And a man stood up and asked me a question, a really good question that I've asked myself. It's probably a question that you've asked yourself. He asked, isn't love too weak for this moment? And I thought about it, and I told him that my faith teaches me that love is the strongest force in the universe. Love is not passive. Love is not neutral. Love is not weak. Love sometimes requires that we stand between the bullies and the bullied. Love sometimes requires that we look evil in the eye and not blink. Love sometimes requires that we flip over the tables of injustice. That kind of love has always been a threat to the powers that be. That kind of love is revolutionary. That kind of love is radical. That kind of love is creative. Hate is boring. Hate is predictable. Hate can't lower our energy bills. Hate can't teach a child how to read. Hate can't build a future. But what hate can't do, love can. Take it from a teacher. Love can turn a student into a scholar. Love can turn an enemy into a friend. Love can turn a campaign into a movement. That is the kind of love we are rooting this campaign in. We will not defeat the politics of division with more division. We're not going to win this race by shaming or ridiculing or alienating our neighbors. In my experience, when you extend an open hand rather than a closed fist, you'll be surprised by who takes that hand. If you hate politics and you've never voted before, you have a place in this campaign. If you have voted for Democrats, but you're tired of Democratic politicians always folding, you have a place in this campaign. And if you voted for Donald Trump, but you are fed up with the extremism and the corruption in our government, you also have a place in this campaign. A new kind of politics is possible. It's waiting to be born through all of us. A movement that radiates that kind of love is unstoppable, and it will win. We have a moral imperative to win. If we don't win, we can't help anybody. If we don't win, we can't stop what's happening to our country. We are seeing the consequences of losing elections as we speak, all over Texas, all over America. There is a secret police force terrorizing our neighbors all over the state, all over this country. ICE shot a mother in the face. ICE kidnapped a 5-year-old boy. ICE executed a man in broad daylight on our streets before our very eyes. It is time to tear down this secret police force and replace it with an agency that's actually going to focus on public safety for all of us. It is past time to impeach Secretary Kristi Noem. It is past time to prosecute agents who have abused their power. And when we have a Senate majority, we're going to haul these masked men before Congress so the world can see their faces. We should be cracking down on the cartels, not our communities. We should be deporting gang members, not small business owners. We should be hunting down human traffickers, not moms and babies. These masked men are waiting in school pickup lines. They are lurking in hospital waiting rooms. This is not law enforcement. This is something else. They say it's about law and order, but they're waiting outside courthouses, arresting people who are following the law and showing up for their immigration hearings. They say it's about the economy, but they're deporting the very people who keep our economy running. They say it's about illegal immigration, but now they're going after American citizens. This has never been about immigration. This has always been about control. The easiest way to control a population is to keep people afraid. Keep them looking over their shoulder. Keep them in line. Don't draw attention to yourself. Don't criticize the state. Don't speak your mind, otherwise you'll be disappeared or even killed. No more secret police. No more masked men in unmarked vehicles. No more kidnapping people off our streets. This is the United States of America. We're not supposed to fear our government. Our government is supposed to fear us. Listen, I've been thinking a lot about a lyric from a great American songwriter, John Prine. He wrote, I really love America. I just don't know how to get there anymore. There's been a lot of bad news, especially over the last few days. A mass shooting in Austin. American troops dying in the Middle East. Innocent school children killed in Iran. It's enough to break your heart. And when I'm feeling this way, there's a verse of scripture that I return to. And I hope it can be a gift to you, whether you're religious or not. It's in the Gospel of Luke when Jesus says something really strange. He says, "Blessed are you who weep." And that's strange because how can someone who's weeping be considered blessed? In our culture, in this country, we tend to avoid grief. But I think we forget that grief can be fertile soil. Sometimes we see the world most clearly through our tears. So if your heart is breaking as you watch what's happening in our country and in our world, it means you still have a heart. I want you to trust that. I want you to protect that, because that is what's going to get us out of all this. Resistance starts right here by refusing to mirror the hate and the violence and the inhumanity that surrounds all of us. There has never been a more important time to be a human being. In a time of shadows, it is so important that each of us shines our light. Like many of you, I'm tempted by hopelessness. I'm tempted by despair. But then I show up in San Antonio, Texas, and I see a crowd of neighbors who are trying to figure out how we're going to save this country. And all of a sudden, I feel a little bit of hope. And a little bit of hope is a dangerous thing. The fact that all of you are here means you haven't given in to hopelessness. And that means the bullies haven't won yet. Action is the antidote to despair. You can't wring your hands when you're rolling up your sleeves. We have a lot of work to do, San Antonio, but I am confident that we are going to win this race, that we are going to take back our state, and we are going to take back our country. Because in the words of Bad Bunny, the only thing more powerful than hate is love. Thank y'all for being here. God bless you. Let's go win this thing. Thank y'all.
This speech blends personal testimony, religious language, populist economics, and forceful accusations about immigration enforcement and elite power structures. Supporters may hear a call for moral clarity and systemic reform. Critics may question the accuracy of certain claims, particularly serious allegations involving federal agencies and violence, which would require verified evidence and due process to assess fully. Politically, the strategy is clear: expand the coalition beyond party lines by framing the race as people versus the powerful. Whether that message resonates statewide in Texas remains to be seen. What do you think? Is this a compelling vision for bridging political divides, or does the rhetoric risk deepening them? Share your perspective in the comments. And if you value thoughtful, fact-based political analysis without the shouting, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who wants a deeper look at the headlines shaping our democracy.